Yud Daled.
Got it? Let's just test it. Atzilus, we said, is the memutza that connects Atzmus and Elokus with world. We already discussed the profound difference between Elokus and world. But the difference is on a fundamental level, not merely in capacity, in expanse. The fundamental difference. Elokus is in reality itself. It's about what the Rambam called Motzui Rishon, the first being, the very first being, not preceded by anything else. World, by definition, is a come to be, preceded by the koyach that created it. How can world, something that is oriented on the basis of mitzias, of coming into being, understand and relate to Elokus, which is in a totally different realm? For that we have atzilus as the memutza. With atzilus the oils are bekelim, and within atzilus itself it is primarily the spheres of Chochmah. Because Chochmah is a keli for the gilui of Ayin Sof. Just to refresh, we pointed out the particular ingredient, particular quality in Chochmah that makes it a keli is because Chochmah is bittul. Chochmah relates to that which is given to it, rather than that which it identifies with its own experience. And therefore, it is a keli for Ayin Sof. And as a result of this, the Ayin Sof, Ayin Eliki, is brought into Gilui, and the Gilui of that is reflected in world, and all the way down to the lowest world, even the neshamas, the way they are lamata in world. This is all rooted, in essence, in what's called Chochmah d'Atzilus. Chochmah d'Atzilus is the first moment where the Elokus is recognized in a keli. Pardon me? And that eventually provides for the Megala Elokus on the level that even Neshamas and Malachim can comprehend. Sorry. Now the second line on page Yudala. The Kol Zeh, and this entire development, namely that Ayin Sof and Elokus, is brought down to the point where it is being comprehended when the Neshamas and Malachim here lamata in the world. Who it is mipnei shehakelim da'atzilus. It is due to the fact that the kelim of atzilus, and we explained the principle of kelim. The principle of kelim is that kelim relate and they bring out the content of what you put into the cave. I hope you understand that this is very, very subtle. Like we said, on a gross level, but we can project the idea. Water in a pond, water in the ocean, is not drops of water. It's one huge body of water. Water in a cup is a certain number of drops of water. Because the cup has a finite capacity, and the drops in this cup are countable. That's the idea. I have this many drops, and that's why a cup provides for drinking water. Because when a person drinks, he has to drink drop by drop. He can't drink a whole reality of water. That happens, it hurts him. The drops of water identified by the kelim. So that's why the kelim the atzilus. This is what enables. This is the facilitator that it should be, that should in this gala in the world. And kelim the atzilus, this is where it takes oirin soif. Heim kelim ruuyim nuchonim lekabel ha'oir. The kelim the atzilus are fit, and they are prepared lekabel ha'oir, to accept the oir. Even though the oir is oirin soif, and this is kelim. Kelim the atzilus have this capacity to mekabel oir inside. The ha'oir meir bahem, and the oir illuminates and shines, comes in full expression bahem in the kelim. B'bchinas islapshus pnimi, in a manner of islapshus pnimi, meaning that the oir actually relates to the kelim. B'his galus, and then also b'his galus, it expresses itself to the fullest. Again, our very simple illustration also of a kelim. You have water in the cup. The water is contained in the cup, and it takes on the form of the cup. And from then you can take the water only through the cup. You don't access water directly. In a very contained and defined manner. And then also be his galus. That also is megala. That also brings out what is the function of water, what is contained in water, what is water able to do. The similar is in Chochmah the atzilus. The kelim the atzilus are kelim ru'im that is fit to receive the oil in a full. The oil comes in them in kelim, and yet it is b'his galus, which means b'his galus is said that the oil is in full expression. Shalidei zeh, whereby nimshach hagilui gam b'biyah, and then because it comes b'his galus, the gilui can come also in biyah. And we discussed the principle of the gilui. The gilui means that you don't have the essence; you only have the expression of the essence. But that expression can be identified, it can be related to imbiyah in the world. Like our gross morsel is the hands clapping, which is a gilui of simcha. But the hands do not have the feeling and the sense of simcha. But the gilui of simcha is capable to be expressed even in the hands. Okay. Kitzur. Belochein. This is the kitzur of this last ice. And this is what HaKelim poyalim b'ha'oiris. The kelim have the effect on the oiris. These behem yizhavos mitzias hayesh. That through them there could be a yizhavos, a creation mitzias hayesh. Because the oiris are mislavish in the kelim, relate to the kelim. Then on the other hand, the oiris soiti manhigim is a kelim. The oiris rule and guide the kelim. Liyas bitl hayesh, so that the yesh of the kelim would be there would be a yin from bitl. In other words, yes, the keli causes a certain form in the oir, but at the same time, the keli is pointing to the oir, as we discussed, that the oil, this is what I'm about to tell you about the oil, not to tell you about myself. As the Pasuk says, HaChochmah tois LaChochmah. That Chochmah gives power to the Chocham beyond the koyach that creates it. V'hu mipnei she'en kelim al ha'ir. And that is possible only because the kelim are kelim al ha'ir, are suited for the oil. The kelim are dedicated to receiving the oil. Shehu b'hem b'bchinas hislapshus pnimi b'hizgalus. The oil in the kelim relates in a hislapshus pnimi, in a pnimizik relationship. Again, as we discussed, he said, we have pebbles in a cup. You can carry the cup, and through the cup you're carrying the pebbles. But are the pebbles in the keli, in the cup? Is there a relationship between the pebbles and the cup? Absolutely not. Whereas I put water in the cup, that is suitable relationship.
And the pebbles don't relate to the cup because
the cup does not serve them in any which way. Water in a cup, the cup brings out in the water a certain functionality, a certain meaning of water. Pebbles are not related to the cup at all. In water, in the cup, there is a slapshus pnimi. Because the cup brings out in the water a quality and a union that would not come to expression if not for the cup. This means slapshus pnimi. And this is the principle of oir bekeli. Oil is Ein Sof. But when you put it in the keli, you bring out the inner of the oil in a keli fashion, with his galus. This is a similar thing on the subject. There's the host and the guest, and there is a phenomenal relationship there. But what really grasps it, what really reveals it is the meal that he serves. The meal is only a keli to this thing, it's not the real thing. But to this keli, there is the oir on the relationship as expressed. Bezehu. And therefore, this is what we mean when you say Shalidei atzilus. Or bechinas hagilu dialakus gam bibiyah. As a result of atzilus, this is what brings about what represents the gilu of alakus in biyah. As I pointed out, this is a phenomenal transition. V'reish is hagilu hu bechinas chochmah. And the starting point of this Gilui is from the Inyan Chochmah. Shesham Reish is Gilui HaKav. In Chochmah, this is where the starting point of Gilui HaKav and the expression of the Kav. The Kav, this is Ein Sof, presented in a multi-pointed fashion. Because once it comes to the Keli identifies the various points in the Ayin. Okay, let's continue. Hine is boil yad mosho. Earlier we explained, when we talked about the moshel, the koiches ha-nefesh, because in nefesh and guf we have the similar thing. There's the koiches ha-nefesh, and the koiches ha-mislabesh in the guf, and each koyach has its particular eva, particular limb through which the koyach is expressed, and the limb and the koyach are suited for each other. So we explained that Mashe HaKoich is mislabshim b'Ivorim, that the fact that the koiches are mislabish in the Ivorim, in the limbs, she'einem be'erach ze lo zeh. She'einem be'erach ze lo zeh, where in fact the koiches and the Ivorim are not in proximity one to the other. The Aver is totally a lifeless entity, a gashmitic entity. The Aver, as we said, has no cognizance of what a koyach is and what a function is. The koyach, on the other hand, is all about function, all about what am I able to do. And yet, this koyach is mislabish in the Aver. How does that happen? And we're saying that the hislapshus is total, meaning hislapshus in such a manner that the Aver appreciates the koyach. Not that the koyach simply guides the Aver from a top-down position, and the Aver does not know what is occurring. The Aver begins to appreciate the koyach. And how is that possible? And this factor that the koiches are mislabish in the Ivorim, although then einu be'erach ze lo zeh, although that they are not be'erach, they cannot really understand one another, the koyach and the Aver. And yet it happens. Why is that? Who? Lefi shehein koiches pnimiyim be'etzem. It is due to the fact that the koiches are pnimiyim be'etzem. In inception, the koiches are pnimiyim, which means, what's pnimiyim mean? Pnimiyim means that they have a function. In essence, they have a function. They are not there just to be what they are, but they have an aim, a directive. They are pnimim. They intend. The koiches, by definition, want to accomplish, want to do things. That's what pnimim biyetz. V'hainu, which means to say, shehein ra koiches hanefesh, that they are only koiches hanefesh. Loi oir etzem hanefesh. The koiches are not the oir, not representing etzem hanefesh. They represented only the koiches hanefesh. As we said only on the onset, that in the nefesh is contained koiches. And the principle of koiches is not the nefesh itself. That the nefesh represents this in the nefesh contains koiches. What is koiches? Koiches means contains the capacity to accomplish. Nefesh itself is nefesh is unto itself. Accomplish means to affect the outside. This is the name from koiches.
Okay, so that's to say the koiches are already outward facing and are oriented towards getting things done.
Right. There's an essential inyan in the nefesh that it has koiches to accomplish. Being that the koiches, by definition, even as they are in the nefesh, they are only koiches and nefesh. They only indicate the capabilities of the nefesh. Not representing the A, or it's not the A etzem nefesh, it is contained in the etzem nefesh, but it is the functional element of that. Or misamtzimim, and therefore they misamtzim. They contract. They reduce themselves liyas b'bchinas oipnim, so that they would be able to function, to bring out b'bchinas oipnimi in an oil pnimi manner. This principle will be already discussed when this was first introduced. The initial koyach, the initial capability, what we can make sense of to the aver. Let's say the hand has a koyach to move. The hands are able to move. That's all the hand is able to do, able to move. But to move in a certain fashion, to draw a picture, or to write a letter, this is beyond the hand. The hand has no comprehension of what that is. Movement, plain, gross, brute movement, that's in the capacity of the hand. But the fine movement, this is not from the hand.
It's the hand that does it, but it's not from the hand.
In essence, the hand does not possess that capability. You can guide the hand to do that, but then it's not the hand doing it, and then it's the seichel that's guiding the hand. But the hand in itself cannot relate to this. And yet, the koiches are mislabish in the hand, in a manner, neir pnimi, in a manner that the hand does relate to the finer elements of koich hatzimah.
By this, by the koich reducing itself, so now the hand relates to these very fine movements.
Right. This is because the koyach is mislabesh in the hand, in an oil pnimi manner, so that in essence it's as if it were that the hand itself relates to these various forms that it produces. It is because the koyach focuses and reduces itself to the point of of just that which the hand can accept, and the hand is a bottle to the koyach. Bottle to the koyach means that there is no resistance on the part of the hand to allow the koyach to guide it. And this is why the koyach has become bebechinas oir pnim. Oir pnimi means that the oir has a full-fledged relationship with the keli in which it is mislavish. And as we point out all the time, a human being also has to learn how to write nicely. But when he learns, he has a feel for it. The hand relates to this. An animal can also be trained to act in a certain way. But no matter how much you train it, it is still acting outside of its natural tendency. There was a story years back. People had a pet lion. Now, if you know that lion cubs are very amiable, very, very friendly. And they form, just like a dog becomes related to its owner. The lion also is friendly to its master, and it provides a kind of a loving relationship, quote unquote. But the lion is a dangerous animal. And you cannot train it out of that ferocity, that tendency. There's no way. One wrong move, and it will eat you up. Even your own benefactor.
It's not a keli for Havas Yisrael.
It's not a keli for Havas Yisrael. I remember a story, something like that they had trained the lion, and the lion turned around and untrained them.
That being said, there are animals that are, let's say, so-called domesticated. So this would seem to show that
there are animals that are capable to be, like a horse is a domesticated animal. A dog is a domesticated animal.
Right. So
a sheep, a cow, an ox, but the wild, they're not domesticated. Even we have Beis and Chayes. Even if you take a deer is in the wild. Even if you keep it in its own, it will tend to be in the wild.
Right, but what's our point here? That the human being naturally wants to write, even though he
human being is a kelim. He's a very much kelim for the oil hanefesh.
Saying his hand gets
to. That's right.
Relates to the writing, and he relates to the writing, even though he had to be trained.
That's right. He has to learn, and he has to train the hand. The training is that it should be naturally responding to a certain reaction, but it actually relates to it. The oil enlivens the hand.
Right. Which is not the case even when the horse carries its load and it doesn't really relate to it. And the horse is not going to go wild, it stays domesticated. But it's not a keli for working with a human being?
No. A horse is I say, domesticated in the sense that it can carry a human being.
Okay, so it kind of relates to that function.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's. This is it for this morning. Call to a great day.
The general, there's the gross movement of the limbs. This is provided by an ore that's, I think we learned in the mimer, it's provided by a general ore that is distributed throughout the. This is a different ore than the.
In the specific.
Than the koyach.
That's right. They have the general oil, and that enables then the specific oil to be scholar.
And the relationship of the general ore to the limb. There we don't focus on its adaptability to the ore that dresses in it.
The general oil puts the limb in the position of refinement. It is a participant in human life. Okay.
Human life